Hey YouTube, this is day 6 of Oasis Rising. Wait, no, scratch that. This is Oasis Rising, and this is day 6 of Project Dragon. Yes. So this right here is going to be the mold for my tower. Yes, it's very fancy. It is a toilet paper roll. This is the base for the dragon, the standard 50mm base, and it's got the pegs in it manufactured into it for the feet to fit on. So this should be just big enough to fit on it. So my idea is I'm going to take some of this plaster here, and this measuring cup, and this mixing cup, and this knife, and some clay. And I'm going to put the clay around the base of this so the plaster doesn't pour out everywhere. This is actually the tray that I poured my plaster in for my terrain project. And okay, so then I'll mix equal parts plaster to equal parts water. I think that's what the instructions say. I will have to look at it again. And it sets in 20 to 30 minutes. So it's really quick, it sets fast. And the trick with plaster is that you want to work with it while after it sets, but before it completely dries out. So it's still got some weight to it and still feels slightly damp. Because if you wait until it completely dries out, then it's going to be brittle, and when you scrape on it, it's gonna make that nails on a chalkboard sound, which is terrible to listen to. So I'm gonna get pouring and I'll show you how it looks. Correction, that is 2 parts plaster to 1 part water. Make sure you read instructions before you do things. Be sure to mix thoroughly. And it's probably a good idea to set up your seal around the base before you start pouring or mixing the stuff, because otherwise this might set before you get a chance. Okay, that looks mixed. Let us pour. It's pretty good. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay, there we go. Pouring. Ooh, it's a little chunky. That's okay. There. Ooh. Hopefully that sets before it seeps through the cardboard here. But it looks like we got a good seal on the base. There's nothing pouring out the bottom. Sweet. Okay. So we'll let that kind of sit for a little bit. Give it a squeeze in 5 or 10 minutes and see how it looks. I should note that I haven't actually used a toilet paper tube to cast plaster before, so this is kind of an experiment. It's a little bit weird. It looks like the moisture in the plaster is seeping out through the cardboard, so I'm not sure what sort of a result we'll get with this. But if you don't try new things, you can't learn to do new things. So here we go. It's been about 20 minutes, and if you squeeze it, it is pretty hard. It's not squishy anymore. So I think the consequence of the cardboard tube being porous is that it kind of sucked the water out and gave this kind of dimple. So I may have to re-pour with a new tube and more plaster because, okay, it's not quite completely dry, or cured, I should say. I also think I may have needed to pack plaster into the measuring cup because I just kind of sifted it up, or scooped it up lightly. I didn't pack it in there, so this may be a failed attempt number 1. So, what could be some ways to improve this? I suppose I could just use one of these plastic cups to do it. However, I feel like that's too wide. This is way too wide for the base, because I want it to be able to carve it. And I mean, the bottom is good, but the top isn't. I suppose I could cut side of this and kind of squish it in and hold it with a rubber band so that it is the right shape, more of a vertical cylinder instead of a cone-shaped cylinder. So I think that might be something to try tomorrow. So failed attempt number 1 for the tower, I think. Get it unwrapped, but I don't think it'll be tall enough. We need it to be just about as tall as that bottle of super glue. So, well, we'll come back to it tomorrow and see how it looks. Thanks for watching.